Yo, yo, yo! What is up, y'all? My name is Rob Donaldson, and welcome back to another edition of Rob's Best Bets. And we are once again talking about college hoops here on this fine Thursday. And man, oh man, just another kind of needling day, because this is the second straight day where we've had one game break against us in the final minutes that would have flipped us into the green. We batted 500 in terms of actually the against the spread record, but at the end of the night, we had Cal plus 3.5. They lose by 4 based on 2 made free throws by SMU in the final 3 seconds. It's just one of those things that, man, it's a needle. There's no other way to put it, but hey, you know, we have a great slate here on Thursday, and I'm excited to talk about that with you guys today. But first, we do need to take a second to shout out today's sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. And man, oh man, guys, 3 of our last 4 Underdog entries at 6-1 paying odds, we have hit over on Twitter/X. And if you haven't already signed up over there at Underdog, make sure you use promo code ROBDFB when you sign up, and you'll get a pretty sweet deposit match bonus. And here on Thursday as well, we will have yet again another entry at 6-1 paying odds. And you guys can take part of that over on my Twitter/X page at RobDFB. But with all that being said, y'all, I'm ready to talk about these Thursday picks. All right, first up, we are heading out to the CAA, where we have a really fun matchup between William and Mary and Towson. And when you look at Towson coming into this game, if they win, they lock up the number 1 seed in the CAA tournament. And that's important because, you know, Towson hasn't made the actual dance for quite some time, and they've by far had the best season in this conference. Ever since it started, they've just been one of the hottest teams, not only in the CAA, but in all of basketball. And William & Mary is having a great season, but they have kind of suffered in terms of just their actual basketball output ever since Noah Collier, one of their better shooters, went down. And in this game here, I do think that Towson is going to be coming in motivated. I also think they are the better team. And for that reason, I say we go ahead and lay the 5.5 points here for 2 units for our first bet here on Thursday. For pick number 2, we are heading out to the SoCon, where we have a game between Chattanooga and UNC Greensboro. Yet another just fantastic game. It's a really great slate, especially if you like the mid-major leagues here on Thursday. And when you're looking at these two teams, these have been 2 of the more relevant teams in SoCon play over the past few seasons. And yet again, you know, it's a big-time matchup late here in February. And UNC Greensboro is a slight favorite in this game. And although Chattanooga is playing some of the best ball in this conference, I know that this is a game that if there is going to be fan attendance, it will show up here. And on top of that, I think UNC Greensboro is going to be ready to go. So let's go ahead and take UNCG on the money line for 3 units for our second bet here on Thursday. For pick number 3, we are heading on back to the CAA, where we have a really fun matchup here between UNC Wilmington and Campbell. And when you're looking at this game here, Campbell has actually played some of the best ball in this conference ever since conference play started. You know, their play-up spots have been really fantastic, and they also have had some weird stinkers that mixed in there as well. But UNC Wilmington, you know, this is a number 2 seed, and they're going on the road with an ever so outside chance at securing a number 1 seed in the CAA tournament. But I do think that Campbell is going to be geared up and ready to go in this game. And despite the win-loss records, I actually think that Campbell is pretty evenly matched with UNCW in this game. So let's go ahead and take the 4.5 points with the Camels for 2 units for our third bet here on Thursday. For pick number 4, we are once again staying in the CAA. This league will either be the death of us or be our saving grace here on Thursday. But when you're looking at this matchup here between Elon and Monmouth, you know, these are 2 teams that are kind of stuck in the middle right now, but Monmouth has had 2 kind of chapters to their season. They started off really, really poorly with a young roster, and ever since, they've kind of hit this backstretch in conference play, they've been very, very impressive. And Elon has kind of had an up and down season where they started off really hot and have tailed off towards the back end. And here in this matchup here for Monmouth on senior day, I do think that the Hawks are going to be able to go up here and win this game outright. And for that reason, I say we go ahead and take the 1.5 points for 3 units for our fourth bet here on Thursday. For pick number 5, we're heading out to the OVC, where once again we have a really fun game here in the mid-major leagues between SEMO and SIUE, and this is for first place in the OVC. These are two teams that also weren't really projected to be in this position at the start of the season, but here they are in all their glory. And when you're looking at this game, I do think that SIUE is playing really great ball. I also think SEMO is playing some really great ball as well, but I have watched this SIUE team against Tennessee State, against Tennessee Tech, against some of the top teams in this conference, and they just have the makeup of a team that is built for March. And I do feel like this is going to be a game that has that kind of feel. And for that reason, I say we go ahead and take them on the money line for 2 units for our fifth bet here on Thursday. For pick number 6, we're heading out to the Big Ten, where we have a game between Rutgers and Michigan. And when you're looking at this game here, Michigan and Dusty May have really been playing some big-time games over the last 5. I mean, you throw in that Nebraska game last time out, Michigan State, Purdue, at Indiana, at Ohio State. You're mixing in rivalry games, just good quality games in general from a brand standpoint. And last time out against Nebraska, we saw a 49-46 ball game. I mean, it was one of the more physical games of the entire season. It was also just I don't even know how to categorize it. It was a pretty obscure game, but when you're looking at this matchup here against Rutgers, I do feel like Rutgers is starting to play a lot better basketball just because their star power is starting to come together on the offensive end, where a lot of the season it kind of felt like it was hero ball, possession by possession, but I do think they're a lot more cohesive, and they're playing a Michigan team that, again, they're picking up wins, they're padding their win-loss record, but they haven't really been covering over the last 5 games, which just kind of screams to me that their lines might be a little bit inflated. And in this game, they're laying 10.5. In my opinion, that seems way too high. So let's go ahead and take the 10.5 points here with Rutgers for 3 units for our 6th bet here on Thursday. For pick number 7, we're heading out to the Conference USA, where we have a game between Middle Tennessee and New Mexico State. And when you're looking at this game, we've been back in New Mexico State quite a bit this season, but what we're actually going to be doing in this matchup is a little bit different than a lot of our picks on this channel. As you guys know, I don't usually dabble with the totals. I just prefer betting on the sides. I found my niche there, and I've always stuck with it. But in this game, and honestly, one of the big reasons we bet on New Mexico State so often this season is because of their defense and their ability to grind you out, especially in conference play. And in this game, I do think New Mexico State is going to be able to dictate how this game is played, and I don't want to lay the number with them in this spot. And I'm seeing a total that's nearing 140, and I just feel like that is way too high. So let's go ahead and take that under of 138.5 for 2 units for our second to last bet here on Thursday. All right, for our final bet here on Thursday, we are heading out to the Horizon League, where we have a game between Cleveland State and Wright State. And this hasn't been the best season for Wright State, and a large part of that is because they are working off the departure of Matt Nagy, who left for Southern Illinois. And, this has been a team and a program that has regularly hit that 20-win mark, and they're going to fall way short of that this season. But, on senior day and in a big-time get-up spot against one of the best teams in the conference, I do think they win this thing outright. I also just think that Cleveland State in general might have peaked a little bit too early this season as well. And for that reason, I say we go ahead and take Wright State on the money line for 3 units for our final bet here on Thursday. All that being said, I really want to thank you guys for checking out today's video, and if you do want to show some love, make sure you drop a like in the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and make sure you comment down below. But with all that being said, y'all, I will see you in a future video. Take it easy.